First, let us understand what is fork. So here I have opened an open source project that is React, which belongs to Facebook. Now I cannot change anything in this repository because I don't have any authorization to change code in this repository, which belongs to somebody else. So how can I contribute to it then? So here comes the role of fork. So you can click on this button on top right. By clicking this, it will create the same repository for your profile, and it will also show that repository has been forked here, and it will also show that this repository has been forked from the original React repository by Facebook. Now since the copied repository belongs to my account, I can change any file I want in this repository. Make a note that by changing the code in this repository will not change the code in the original repository. It will only change the copy of the original repository which is associated to my profile. Now what if I want to modify files from my computer or my system? We have to take copy of this repository in my computer. So taking the copy of this remote repository in my local system is called cloning. Here comes the role of git commands. To use git commands in your system, you need to install Git. I have given link of this website in the description box below. You can install Git following this documentation based on the operating system you have. Let's clone the repository in local computer. So we will not clone this React repository because the size of it is very big and it will take much time. Instead, we will clone the repository which we created in last video. So to clone the repository, first copy the URL of the repository from here. Note that do not copy the URL from the browser tab, otherwise you won't be able to push your changes again back to this remote repository. Now after copying this URL, open up the terminal and type command git clone and paste the URL that you just copied. On executing this command, the copy of the repository will be created in your local system. Open up the Visual Studio Code or any other editor and open the clone repository in it. Open up the readme file and let's change some content in it. So I am adding a sentence here at the bottom of the file. Now if you save the file and go back to GitHub and see the repository, you won't see those changes on GitHub, because the repository in the computer is the copy of the repository on GitHub. So to synchronize the changes to GitHub remote repository, we need to push the changes to the remote repository on GitHub. We will understand how to do that in a moment. Before that, if we want to see how many files are changed in the local repository with respect to remote repository on GitHub, we can see that using git status command. So if we run git status command, it will tell me that how many files are changed. In our case, we have one file changed, that is readme file. Now there is a special file in Git called gitignore file. This file is used to forcefully avoid tracking of some files in repository. So let us say we have one file called extra.txt and I want that Git should not track the changes in this file. So right now if you run the command git status, then it will show that you have created new file extra.txt. It means Git is tracking the changes of this file. So to avoid tracking this file, we need to create one more file named .gitignore and we have to add extra.txt in this file. Now if you run git status, you won't see extra.txt in this. It means Git doesn't track changes in extra.txt file. So whatever files you want to ignore from Git tracking, you can include names of those files in gitignore file. Now let's push these changes to remote repository on GitHub. So to push any changes, we need to first make those changes ready which we want to push. To make changes ready, there are two commands, git add and git commit. Git command adds changes done to this local repository in the staging area. Here staging area is a virtual area from where changes are going to be pushed to the remote repository. So let us write command git add, and after that we need to specify the changes in which files we want to push. So you can specify file names separated by spaces like readme.md, .gitignore, like that. But if you want to push all the changes that you made to this local repository, then you can just put dot, and this dot will represent all the files in which any content is changed. Now on executing this command, it will means changes in two files are added to the staging area. Now git commit is the command which takes the snapshot of the data that is going to be pushed. It means it is making the changes ready which are going to be pushed. You can write command git commit and -m, and you can give any commit message here. So I am giving my first commit. Now our changes are ready to be pushed, and we now just need to push it using the command git push. So let's push the data. Run command git push. Then we need to specify which repository we want to push. So the remote repository is called origin by default. So we will write origin and then the branch we want to push these changes to, that is main. Don't worry if you didn't understand about origin and branch. For origin, I will be going to talk in depth in next video along with upstream, and branch we are going to cover in next few minutes. So anyways, if you execute this command, it will push the changes to your GitHub repository. Now if you go back to GitHub and refresh the page, then you can see that the changes are synchronized. The content in the README has changed and gitignore file is also created. Now let us talk about branch. So let us say there is a remote repository on GitHub and person A clones that repository in his system and change some code, and person B does the same. Now you can see that the changes by person A and person B are conflicting to each other, and that is why this is not a good practice. So to solve this problem, Git provides functionality to work on branches. So in this case, person A will create his own branch and work on it, and person B will create his own branch and work on it. And they will push their code in their own branches and not the main branch of the remote repository, so that there won't be any conflicts. Now in GitHub, whenever you create a repository, the default branch of this repository is main. If you want to see in your local repository that in which branch you are working, then you can just run command git branch and it will tell you. In our case, we are working on main branch. Now how to create a new branch? So to create a new branch, we can run command git checkout -b to create a branch and then branch name. In this case, we'll give branch 1, and if I execute it, then you can see that the new branch is created and our repository is navigated to newly created branch, that is branch 1. If you want to check, then you can run git branch and you can see that we are currently in branch 1. But note that this branch is only created in our local repository, and if you see on remote repository on GitHub, you will only be able to see one branch. Now let us change some content in this branch. So I am adding a sentence at the end. Now let us push this new branch to the remote repository on GitHub. We can do that with the same 3 commands, which are git add, git commit and git push. But this time while doing git push, you have to give the name of current branch, that is branch 1, and not the main. After pushing it, if we go back to GitHub and check the repository, you can see that the new branch is created, and if we click on that new branch, we can see that the edit sentence at the end of README file. So the question comes to my mind that changing the branch is so easy on GitHub just by clicking on branch name, but how to change branch in my local repository? You can do so using git checkout. Remember, we have created branch using the same command. You can do so using git checkout. Remember, we have created branch using the same command. So to create a branch, you need to put -b after git checkout. But if the branch already exists and you just want to navigate to it, then just run command git checkout and branch name, that is main. By running this command, we navigated to main branch and the content is changed based on the branch. So before wrapping up this video, I want to talk about last command. So if you want to check history, that which commits did you make to your repository and when did you make those commits, then you can do so using git log command. It will tell you all the details along with unique ID corresponding to each commit. You can also see the same thing on GitHub repository on commit step. So that is all for this video. Let us meet in the next video to understand about advanced git commands like merge, upstream, rebase